welcome. We are back again with our spotlight on G20. On India at G20 today, we will tell you about how deliberations over 3 days at the G20 Education Working Group meeting in Amritsar focused on all the 4 priority areas identified for the education track under India's G20 presidency and the outcomes of the meeting that concluded today. Also on the show, after the 3rd Business 20 conference ended in Gangtok, the stage is now set in the Indian northeastern city for the startup Sikkim Sabha, where deliberations will take place on strengthening the global startup ecosystem, of which India has emerged as the 3rd most powerful nation. All that and more in India at G20. I'm Munmun Bhattacharya. Let's get started with the top stories. 3-day G20 Education Working Group meeting concludes in Amritsar. Discussions on the final day center on creating a tech-enabled learning environment that promotes equal opportunities, maintains quality standards and encourages global cooperation across all levels of education. Delegates discuss G20 Education Working Group report. Third Business 20 conference under India's G20 presidency concludes in Gangtok. G20 nations examine investment potential in critical sectors like organic farming, tourism, pharmaceuticals and hospitality. Delegates wrap up the conference with a visit to the Rumtek Monastery. Delegates from across the world arrive in Sikkim for the Startup 20 Sikkim Sabha on Saturday and Sunday. Members of the 3 task forces of Startup 20 will discuss the first draft of the official policy communique in Sikkim. Side events like Startup 20 X events, Startups Showcase and visit to Rumtek Monastery will also be organized. Startup 20 is India's addition to G20. The 3-day G20 Education Working Group meeting concluded in Amritsar today. Discussions on the final day centered on creating a tech-enabled learning environment that promotes equal opportunities, maintains quality standards and encourages global cooperation across all levels of education. Delegates discussed G20 Education Working Group report that provided valuable insights and recommendations on global education policies, and the participating nations actively engaged in collaborative conversations on the report. DD India correspondent Amritpal Singh reports from Amritsar.
The second Education Working Group meeting of the G20 concluded in Amritsar on Friday. The meeting focused on strengthening research and promoting innovation through richer collaborations. Over 3 days, there were exhaustive discussions on the other 3 priority areas of building capacities, promoting lifelong learning in the context of future of work, and ensuring foundational literacy and numeracy, especially in the context of blended learning.
The research working group, it was, I think, universally accepted that there is a need to create a forum to ensure that universities, it could be G20 universities, to create a platform or a collaboration amongst them to ensure that you have more joint research happening amongst these institutions in the form of joint degrees or joint PhDs or exchange of students and faculty. That was a clear message that was given there, and I think in the next working group in Bhubaneswar and Pune, the outlines of how that framework will be done will be presented.
India, as the chair of the meeting, highlighted the importance of community involvement in student education and the pressing need for more collaborations and partnerships in the realm of research and innovation to resolve present-day and future challenges.
If there is going to be lifelong learning, and this is what is being talked about, that the present economy demands that you should have the ability to skill and then reskill as per the needs of the market. But then the precursor to all learning is foundational learning, because that is the place where you start. And that is why it is extremely important that we must have all our children in school. We have emerged from almost a long COVID-19 period. Our schools have been shut. I think there have been learning losses across the country. Every country has had learning losses. So we are also discussing how do we do things so as to plug that learning loss to make our children achievements better than what it has been in the past.
The meeting saw participation of 58 delegates from 28 countries, international organizations, from member nations and special invitees. On the final day of the deliberations on Friday, delegates discussed the G20 Education Working Group report. The deliberations over 3 days led to a consensus on the need for meaningful collaborations to effectively address key challenges in the realm of education.
I think it's been a great meeting, and I see a lot of positive attitude between all members. We all want to contribute and find common solutions, because the thing is that lately we are facing so many common problems in many fields, of course, but in the field of education. And meetings like this can help us, to share some valuable information and maybe to reach some recommendations or good practices that might help us push the future forward.
The fact that all these different countries and their different issues come together, discuss, share knowledge, and also partake in the common development goals such as the SDGs, and for myself interested in education, SDG 4 and quality education through lifelong learning. So it's incredible to see the enthusiasm and the cooperation from all of these different countries.
Meetings have been very productive. All the priority issues are very important for us to discuss, because this is very important time for education transformation all around the world. The issue of foundational literacy, the issue of the inclusive use of technology, lifelong learning, skills and attitudes, and also, of course, strengthening the partnership for research. I think these are very important for us in order to be able to not only recover from the impact of the pandemic, that also prior to the pandemic we already experienced learning loss, but even going beyond that, we need to transform our education system to meet the challenges of our century, especially for our students who will be our future leaders of this planet. So hopefully the spirit of the unity that India has provided under the theme of the One Earth, One Family and One Future is going to bring us together and will impact at the global policy level to bring a better solution for us all.
Delegates also visited the Golden Temple, one of the most prominent spiritual sites in the country.
The consensus that emerged at the Amritsar meeting regarding collaboration in research and innovation and foundational literacy and numeracy would now be carried to the next working group meetings that shall be held in Bhubaneswar and Pune. This would form the basis of the outcome document at the Education Ministers meet in June in Pune, underscoring the need for urgent reset in the global education agenda. With cameraman Sanjeev Kumar, this is Amritpal Singh for DD India in Amritsar.
So the groundwork has been done ahead of the next two meetings of the Education Working Group meeting. Meanwhile, G20 delegates who participated in the education meeting lauded India's effort in reinforcing cooperation in education and developing a shared approach to address global challenges through research and innovation. Here's what the Brazilian delegate had to say about her experience.
I'd like to say that I'm really happy to be here in India for the second time, for the second meeting of the Education Working Group. I'd like to say also that collaboration on research is very, very important for Brazil, and we would like to contribute with the other countries in G20 as we must. And well, I think that's it. Thank you.
G20 delegate from Mauritius lauded India for helping Mauritius in setting up a directory for science and technology and giving a fillip to the education sector at primary, secondary and higher education levels in his country.
The Government of India is even helping Mauritius right now set up a directorate for science and technology, along with helping us on various aspects of the education agenda. One of the collaboration aspect that we have starts at the level of primary education itself with the project EDLP, Early Learning Development Program, where all students of primary schools have been provided with a tablet with the collaboration of India, for example. And we're also working with NCERT and other institutions for secondary schools, where we're having something called a student support portal. And now this collaboration is being shifted to the higher education sector with collaboration in research, in science, in joint programs, in research mentoring, etc., etc. So I think being at the G20 is an immense opportunity to further collaboration, to talk further with other colleagues and other nations and see how we can progress for a better world.
Another G20 delegate from a member country shared his insights on how G20 is benefiting humanity as a whole and helping in transforming the education sector globally.
G20 is a very good platform for members to gathering to talk about how to cooperate among member countries to enhance, to strengthen our cooperation, to promote research. Yes, it's a good platform. So I think we should work together to promote, to make sure the good cooperation among member countries to make our education to upgrade. Yes, and maybe it's good for mankind, for not only good for one country, it's for the G20 members, maybe, and also for the whole world. Thank you.
The G20 delegate from UAE called for a strong partnership with India to strengthen research, development, technology and innovation for a sustainable future.
To thank India for hosting this important meeting. We in UAE are happy to actually work in the area that India done in research and collaboration, and UAE always looks forward to working with other countries to collaborate, especially in the area of research and development and innovation. And we are happy that we already started with a few projects, also including India. There is a joint project with India with three other countries. And we are happy that we are going to continue with other projects and also joint research with universities in India.
A G20 delegate from Germany shared his valuable thoughts on the importance of foundational literacy as the core of any education system. Take a listen.
Foundational literacy, I believe, is the first step to a successful biography in terms of education. And it's an issue that is very high also on the German agenda. The G20 represent a large part of the global population and also different challenges. And I believe that Germany can contribute with its own experience in the educational realm also when it comes to primary literacy.
In news that has just come in, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the Global Millets or Shri Anna conference at Subramaniam Hall in New Delhi on Saturday. Prime Minister will also address the gathering on the occasion. Based on India's proposal, the year 2023 was declared as the International Year of Millets by the United Nations General Assembly. Also in line with the Prime Minister's vision to make the celebrations of the International Year of Millets 2023 a people's movement and position India as the global hub for millets, all central government ministries, departments, states, union territories, farmers, startups, exporters, retail businesses and other stakeholders are being engaged to promote and spread awareness about the benefits of millets for the cultivator, consumer and climate. The organization of Global Millets Conference in India is an important program in this context. The two-day global conference will have sessions on all important issues related to millets like promotion and awareness of millets among producers, consumers and other stakeholders, millets value chain development, health and nutritional aspects of millets, market linkages, research and development among others. The conference will be attended by the agriculture ministers of various countries, international scientists, nutritionists, health experts, startup leaders and other stakeholders. And the focus on millets is extremely important under the context of India's G20 presidency as well. The Business 20 or B20 conference in Gangtok has concluded. During the conference, G20 nations examined the investment potential in critical sectors like organic farming, tourism, pharmaceuticals and hospitality. Sikkim Chief Minister Prem Singh Tamang addressed the media today where he said that B20 delegates showed interest in investing in Sikkim in sectors such as renewable energy, organic farming and skill development among others. During the conference, the delegates visited the stunning Rumtek Monastery, perched on a hillock around 20 kilometers from Gangtok. The Rumtek Monastery is also known as the Dharma Chakra Center and serves as the seat of His Holiness Gyalma Karmapa the 16th, the head of the Karma Kagyu order of Tibetan Buddhism. Built in the 16th century, it is the largest monastery in Sikkim and displays the best of Tibetan architecture along with rare Buddhist art pieces. Business 20 delegates enjoyed the refreshing Sikkim organic tea at the B20 conference in Gangtok. The Sikkim government is trying to promote tea tourism with tea tasting, garden walks and visits and first-time experiences at tea gardens. TD India correspondent Meghna Dev caught up with Sapna Gurung, marketing assistant with Temi Tea, which is a tea estate operating under the Sikkim government. Here's what she said.
Sikkim is known for its organic tea, and to the delegates here at the B20 conference in Gangtok, they have been getting a taste of this organic tea of Sikkim. And to know more about it, what kind of, we can see different kinds of tea here, and what are the different kinds of tea that the delegates are tasting here, we'll get to know more from Sapna, who is here. Sapna, can you tell us what is the speciality of the organic tea which is found here in Sikkim?
Sikkim is known for organic tea and Temi is one of them. So delegates came here and they tasted the tea. So I would like to show here some of the varieties that we have. We have, first we have white tea. This is made with the tips, only with the tips of tea leaf. So this is white tea. And second is green tea we have. Then we have oolong tea. This is semi-oxidation tea, and this is our first plus seasonal black tea. This all are our seasonal black tea. This is first plus. This has plucked from 2nd of March to April. Then comes second plus. This is also like a seasonal, May to June. Then June, July, August. This is monsoon flush. Then autumn, October, November. This is the last flush of the year. And from this, this is the during production. There will be during the process. This breaks into some pieces. So according to its size, this is TGBOP broken. So this is fanning, GOF, and this is last is dust. So this all are Temi varieties.
The delegates have tasted this. What is their feedback, and have they also bought tea from you?
Yes, of course. They love our tea and their feedback is really very great. And they really liked our tea, especially this our seasonal tea and white tea, green tea and oolong tea. And they have also purchased many of our teas.
You are a Sikkim-based company. Are you supported by the government?
Yes, this is under Sikkim government. This is looked by Sikkim government, state government, Commerce and Industry Department.
Tourism is also being developed at these tea gardens. Sapna, can you tell us more on what kind of tourism is being developed at the tea gardens here in Sikkim?
Yes, there we have tea tourism. Actually, we are promoting as a tea tourism. So there is lots of we have made I Love Temi. There is a main attraction of tourists, and there we have many more things like jeep lining, horse riding. These things are also there, and it's been since from this has been now 3 years we are promoting, and now the feedbacks and things are going great because lots of tourists are coming and the local people are getting benefit of those things.
So are the people also able to go around the tea gardens and see the tea plucking?
Yes, of course. The activities we have is zip lining, horse riding, paragliding is it's seasonal, and then we have a tea trial, tea tasting, factory visit. These things we have.
With camera person Venkatesh, this is Meghna Dev for TD India from Gangtok.
An exhibition showcasing arts, crafts, handloom, millets and organic honey was the center of attraction for Business 20 delegates in Gangtok. The exhibition has stalls of Agriculture Department, Commerce and Industries Department, Sikkim Tourism and State Rural Livelihood Mission among others. TD India correspondent Meghna Dev took stock of the exhibition and talked to some of the exhibitors. Take a look.
An exhibition displaying the specialities and uniqueness of Sikkim is also here at the B20 conference, and we'll get to know more on the stalls, what is on display. And to talk more, first we are here at the stall of millets. We are celebrating the International Year of Millets. And what's in store? What all are you displaying here?
I'm from Agriculture Department. Basically, these are the land races, different indigenous land races of agricultural crops of Sikkim. And we've shown you different varieties of cereals here. And also, as you mentioned, the International Year of Millet. So we have different kinds of millets grown in Sikkim. We have displayed here. Also, the activities that Agriculture Department, Government of Sikkim, the farmers-oriented activities that we carried out is also displayed in picture form.
And we also have some stalls that are displaying the handloom, handicraft, and the kind of craft that's there in Sikkim.
This one is wooden lucky shine. This one is thanka, and all these are handloom items. And this one is, we have also our software unit. So we have our software product also, and carpet. We have also carpet product also. Handmade, all are handmade.
So handmade products from Sikkim are also being displayed here to give a flavor of the craft and the handloom that's here in Sikkim. Also, we're coming to another stall to talk more. What are you guys displaying for the delegates here?
Hello, we are from Sikkim Supreme, and basically we produce food products, and basically starting from squash, ready to serve drinks and jams and pickles.
What are the kind of feedback or the interest that you're generating?
We got a good feedback, ma'am. We got a variety of idea for our product, new innovations and all, ma'am.
With camera person Venkatesh, this is Meghna Deo for DD India from Gangtok.
Excitement is in the air as delegates from across the world arrive in Sikkim for the Startup 20 Sikkim Sabha on Saturday and Sunday. 2 days of innovation and collaboration promise to make waves in the startup world. The meeting will invite delegates from G20 member countries and invitee countries, representatives from multilateral organizations and stakeholders from the Indian startup ecosystem. The Sikkim Sabha will take forward the agenda that was finalized during the Startup 20 Inception meeting held in Hyderabad in January with the support of all attendee delegates. The Inception meeting was a foundational step towards transforming the world of startups, during which deliverables of the 3 task forces were reworked in order to incorporate suggestions from the delegates. Let me now tell you briefly about the responsibilities of the 3 task forces. You can see them on your screens. The first is the Foundation and Alliances Task Force, which will work to harmonize the global startup ecosystem through consensus-based definitions, create bilateral and multilateral collaborations, and also create mechanisms for global access to talents and markets for startups operating in G20 nations. Second, the Finance Task Force will aim to increase access to capital for startups by providing financing and investment platforms specifically to broaden the array of financial instruments that are currently available to startups. This will mean more money for startups. Third and the last one is the Inclusion and Sustainability Task Force. It will identify the specific needs of startups or entrepreneurs led by women, persons with disabilities, LGBTQ+, minorities and other groups, and support them through access to market, financial resources, training and government-led support schemes. So all about inclusion and sustainability there. Importantly, at the Sikkim Sabha, the task force members of the Startup 20 Engagement Group will be discussing and deliberating on the first draft of the official policy communique. The event will also host a variety of side events such as Startup 20X events, Startup Showcase at MG Marg and visit of delegates to the Rumtek Monastery. The first draft of the policy communique will be worked and reworked during the coming months and other intervening events under Startup 20. So the expected outcomes of Startup 20 are the official policy communique, a startup handbook with a set of commonly agreed upon definitions and terminologies, a global innovation center to foster collaborations across borders, and promotion of Startup 20 as a global point of contact for startup ecosystems worldwide. So those are the deliverables or outcomes that we are looking at from the 2 days and going forward. Harshvardhan Shringla, Chief Coordinator of G20 under India's G20 presidency, will present an insightful lecture on G20 India to the students of Symbiosis International University in Pune under the G20 University Connect initiative, engaging young minds. G20 delegates had the opportunity to immerse themselves in the warmth and hospitality of Amritsar after concluding the second day of the second Education Working Group meeting on Thursday. It was an unforgettable experience of the flavors, sounds and colours of Punjab. We leave you with a sneak peek. Thanks for watching.
In this episode, we are looking at a very pivotal relationship of India, something that's been a defining one in Asia. This is the partnership with Japan. Japan-India Global Strategic Partnership goes back a long way, but it has new dimensions as a result of a changing international environment.
In 1950s, when France withdrew from the region, China took the half of the Paracel Island. In 1970s, similar pattern has happened. When US withdrew from Vietnam, China take another half of the Paracel Island. In 1980s, Soviet troops in Vietnam reduced the number. China took the sixth feature of the Spratly Island. In 1990s, when US withdrew from Philippines, China took the Mischief Reef. So, when they find power vacuum created by changing military balance, they steal it.
मिठाई तो हमारे जमाने में होती थी।
हाँ तो जाइए ना अपने जमाने में।
रोमांस तो हमारे जमाने में होता था।
पेमेंट भी उसी जमाने का है। अरे भैया डिजिटल पेमेंट करना सीखे नए जमाने में। इजी सेफ एंड फास्ट है। हमने तो इनको डिजिटल पेमेंट करना सिखा दिया। आपने ये सेल्फी लेते हैं। ये हमारे जमाने का है। आरबीआई कहता है कि
डिजिटल पेमेंट अपनाओ
औरों को भी सिखाओ।
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Virtual Encounters. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. We have Vedant Madhavan, a swimmer who recently won 7 medals in Khelo India Youth Games, 5 gold medals and 2 silver medals. He won gold at Danish Open. In fact, he won 2 medals at the Danish Open. At 16, he broke the national record in 1500 meter freestyle event. The son of a famous actor, R. Madhavan. Welcome, Vedant. Welcome to DD India. Appreciate you giving us your precious time. First of all, how have you been? And congratulations on your recent win in Khelo India Youth Games. You won 7 medals there, 5 gold and 2 silver medals. Was this your target also?
So first of all, thank you so much for having me here. It's a great pleasure. And yeah, I did have a good meet in Khelo India. My target was to better my timing since it was a first meet after a long time. But yeah, that was just my main goal of improving my timing.
Right, Vedant, tell us, how was the competition there at the Khelo India Youth Games? Were you at ease and felt confident competing there?
So the competition was amazing. You know, the culture, the spirit, the competition was amazing. You know, I've said this multiple times, but Khelo India is one of my favorite competitions to go to just because of the festivals and everything they hold for us athletes. And yeah, I had a really good time at Khelo India.
All right, you mentioned about the facilities there, the Khelo India Youth Games. I've also covered Khelo India University Games in Bengaluru. Tell us about the facilities there. I mean, I was speaking with the former players, the Olympians also, they were saying that the facilities are nothing less than the Commonwealth Games. You tell us the food being provided there, the infrastructure. If you talk about your event, I mean, Olympic size, Olympic standard pool also. Tell us about the infrastructure, the facilities being provided there at the Khelo India Games.
So Khelo India facilities are always amazing. It's up to world standards. I had no problem this year. The food was amazing. They had food set out for all the athletes. The infrastructure was good. The pool was good. I really like the fact that they had a championship parade. You know, that really boosts our confidence and makes us want to win. It boosts our spirit as well. So having all of that, really makes us as athletes really happy, and I'm really happy that Khelo India did this year. So.
Right, Vedant, you also won gold and silver medals at the Danish Open. You won gold in 800